defrauding someone, defrauding me of a legal divorce where I could have custody of my sons. See, you can't just say that oh, he didn't get the mail. Yes. You can't give custody of my sons to my wife. Yes. When you intentionally send it to the wrong address. Yes. Or you keep the mail from me without notifying me that I have mail. Ooh. Now, I would have told the court that we're going to have to dissolve the United Nations marriage in the United Nations. See, these forgery offenses, known as birth certificates, marriage certificates, or death certificates, yeah, it really is a forgery. It's a fraud to say that a marriage certificate, yeah. We actually were married in Kosovo, yes. Now, a lack of authority is not an element of the offense of forgery, but if a claim of authority is properly raised, yes. Now, this happens to be the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, right? The Commonwealth must approve the absence of authority beyond a reasonable doubt in order to prove the element of fraudulent intent. Yes. Now, let's say the state of Washington had to prove, yes, their absence of authority beyond a reasonable doubt in order to prove the element of the fraudulent intent of the dissolution of marriage. Now, when you think about it, you would have thought right now that this intent, the element of the fraudulent intent. Now, you decided to allow my wife to kidnap my sons, defrauded me of the right to divorce her, and then you sat there every fucking day right now. I'm going to prove in a court of law, yes, purple, yeah, that the element of the fraudulent intent on the part of the state of Washington is the absence of authority beyond a reasonable doubt to be able to dissolve the United Nations marriage certificate. It was a fraudulent dissolution of marriage. Oops, there's Brady again. Now, this Bill of Rights, yes, cruel and unusual punishment. Now, the Bill of Rights is included in many cornerstones of our democracy. Yeah, freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. Prohibition against unreasonable search and seizure. There's Brady again. Oh. Well, where were you on December 31st, 2015? I was sleeping at the Serenity House when I was in this library. The cruel and unusual punishment of refusing to acknowledge my son's rights to have me as their father. And then there's the cruel and unusual punishment of using my reproductive rights without my knowledge. And if you made a little boy or girl without me knowing about, it's cruel and unusual, yes, that you deprive them of their genetic father. It's cruel and unusual, Cruella, Miss Black and White Dalmatian. Now, why don't you just give me all those genetic kids? And you're going to get, see, a bill of particulars, a document written by a plaintiff or prosecutor at the request of a defendant in a civil or criminal action. Now, you notice you can highlight twice and it causes a different purple. Yes. Just think of that prosecutor as that Brady I told you about. Yes, he does. Well, for all the prosecuting attorneys everywhere in the United States that has any knowledge of this, you don't have to be the named prosecutor of the county. Yes, you have an obligation. I'm sorry, prosecuting attorneys, you're totally fucking fucked right now. I will sue every prosecuting attorney in each and every county, each state, and every attorney general of each state of the United States. For all of you idiots that thought we don't have to. You're going to get fucking sued and put in prison.